Bering Sea. Yeah, that was fun, spying on the Russians, and the funny part about it is I'm now married to a Russian for 21 years. I didn't spy on her at that time. So I grew up in the electronics industry. When I went to college out of the Army, and I went back to work for the same company, and then in June 10th, 1958 to be exact, I started my own company called Atlas Electronics in New Jersey. This is all in New Jersey, New York and New Jersey. And I owned that company, and it sold it about 10 years later. Stayed out, had a restricted covenant, went back into the business in 1972, and bought into a company that owned a company in Hollywood, California, Mountain View, California, and of course, New Jersey. And I said, you know, the streets are paved with gold in California. I got to go to California. Everybody has swimming pools, and I'm going to go there, you know, and there's too much snow on the East Coast, right?
There is.
So I moved out here, and I moved Hollywood Radio down to Irvine, Red Hill, and I took a building in Red Hill. So we started a company that we actually had the company, and we had that for about 8 or 9 years, and then I sold that one, and I kind of said enough with the distribution end of it, the electronic distribution end of it, and just kept moving and consulting really at the time with all the big electronics companies, Avnet, Arrow. These are good friends of mine. The chairman of the board of Avnet was my partner actually. And then when I got involved with this, I was prior to this, I was involved with a company that sold ignition interlock systems for when you get a DUI. And a friend of mine owned it. He sold it. His name's Chick Richardson, Charles Richardson. He sold it in August of 2013. So when I came across this, I go, well, wait a minute. I know how to do this. So I got a hold of Charles, and Charles Richardson and I are partners in this company called Breeze Easy. That's the name of our company. I should have referenced it before. Yes. Breeze Easy, and we're actually a half mile down the road in Laguna Hills. That's our office.
On Moulton, right?
Right off Moulton. It's literally right on Verdago, right off Moulton. And he and I are partners in this, and we're going to bring this, we're going to only adult communities. We're not going to do anything else with it but go into the various adult communities, the first one being, you know, walking distance,
Right.
which is you.
Yeah.
And we're starting the concept here first to see how it works, where it works, what's needed, you know, what you people feel comfortable with, because everybody's still walking around, as I said. You know, I go back to this monster, and I go, how do you know, wait a minute, it doesn't correlate. It doesn't correlate. And so based on the electronic knowledge that I have distribution-wise, this is basically, to me, another RCA tube. Getting this into the hands of the right people.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic unit. It's an exciting unit, which is what I like about it. It's exciting. There's nothing like it. Somebody says, oh, I've seen this before. I said, no, you haven't. You just haven't. It's only a few years old. It's not really on the market. And here it is.
Yeah. Well, breathing is important. Breathing is important.
Why? You really need it?
You can only breathe, what is it, less than two minutes? Well, what? You go brain dead after
Oh,
7
sure.
minutes without breathing.
This gives you 90% pure oxygen.
Yeah.
This turns everything into 90. You're breathing in pure 90% pure oxygen when you're using this. This is a pulse unit, 2 liters of pure oxygen coming at you with a prescription. Very important, with a prescription.
Are you familiar with oxygen bars?
Oh, well, you're the one that woke me up about oxygen. No, I'm not starting an oxygen bar in Laguna, sorry. But that's very interesting.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, saying on that same vein, I think I might have mentioned to you, goes running up in Burbank,
Yes.
in the hills there, and he says, Elliot, I got to get one of these. He says, because there's nothing wrong with my lungs, but the air pollution up there, about a half hour, I got to stop. He says, if I had one of these, every half hour, every 15 minutes, I take 5 minutes of oxygen, I'm in great shape. So the utilization of this is way beyond, at this time, what's being used for. So I'm not really sure where we can go with this other than we know anyone, 100% of the people that are on oxygen and require 2 liters, which is about 75% of the people on oxygen. When you're into 3, 4, you better stay home and, and take the oxygen. But the 70% of the people on oxygen right now, as we're sitting here, can turn around, stay with their oxygen, pick this up, and walk out the door. And no longer, thank you, no longer under house arrest.
Yeah.
I love that, house arrest. Get out from
Yeah.
house arrest.
Yeah, well, it's hard. I mean, I've had friends who just couldn't go anywhere anymore, and they were so concerned, and, if we went someplace, that tank comes with them, and they just feel embarrassed. They really feel embarrassed to be walking around with all that stuff. So, this is a gift to people who want to stay active, even though they do need oxygen, maybe temporarily. A lot of people just need it temporarily till they recover from surgery or different issues. And
Very good analogy, yes,
Yeah.
very good. I mean, it's an excellent, what you're saying is I just came out of surgery and they're putting me on oxygen at home and I don't want to stay home.
yeah,
There you go,
yeah,
no problem. What's interesting about this, I complimented you on your purse. I always talk about, I told my wife about your purse. You can take this, 1.75 pounds, and this battery, and put it in your purse.
yeah,
And just have the cannula sticking out of the purse.
Right.
And when you need some oxygen, boom, and nobody even knows you have the unit.
Right.
It's in your purse as a
Right.
woman. And the man hooks it up into on his belt, and it's gone. It's not there. So there's nothing to be embarrassed. First of all, there's nothing to be embarrassed about having oxygen. You need it to live.
Yeah.
Using your
Absolutely.
statement,
Yeah.
you need oxygen or you're no longer alive.
Yeah, they're always checking our blood oxygen levels. All the doctors, every
They
time we
are.
go to the doctor, they put
Yep.
a little thing on our fingers.
That's
and-
exactly right.
Yeah. So, and it's important to have enough oxygen. It's important for your red blood cells. It's important for your immune system. So for your skin, for everything.
You sure you don't want to come with us?
So, well, it is, and it's something that everybody does. Everybody who's alive breathes.
The interesting part about it is when we had the first day at the fair, at the 50th anniversary, it was the clubhouse when all the clubs are there.
Yeah.
And we had this table there, and some woman came over and said, wow, and thought, hold on a minute. And she gets on the phone, and about a half hour later, another woman comes down, sweetheart of a young lady. And she was wheeling the oxygen tanks. And you can see the smile on her face that she had this oxygen tank, okay, and she's looking at this. She says, I can use this? I says, yes, my darling, you can use this. When we're ready, here's my card. When we're ready, give me a call. I'll personally take care of you. She was like almost in tears because here she comes down with this. She was at home. She couldn't even go to the clubhouse because of the fact she didn't want to wheel the tank. Her friend had to call her and say, you got to come down and see this. So is it exciting to me? You can tell
Yeah.
I'm thoroughly excited about
Yeah.
this. And not so much the business aspect of it, which I am, because I'm a businessman first. I mean, let's be honest about it. But at the same time, the capability of this unit is astronomical. I mean, I haven't even thought about what else. You just mentioned the oxygen bar. I mean, there's so many things that can be done with a 1.75 pound unit. It's amazing.
So, yeah, it really is. It's, we're looking at alternative ways of staying healthy. Not alternative, but at the real ways of staying healthy. Really eating right, exercising. We have several programs. We have the Friendship Walk. The Wellness in the Woods has a Friendship Walk. And people get together and walk in the mornings or in the afternoons, or some of them even in the evenings. There's groups that go out. And friendship is important too, and this gets people together to exercise, and it gets together a support group. If you have made a commitment to somebody else, you're more likely to walk than if, well.
And now you can walk.
Yeah, and now people can walk.
3 hours.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
You can go for your walk.
I don't think we don't walk that long.
Oh,
but-
okay. Well, you've got this battery's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So you don't need 2 batteries.
No.
You only need 1 battery.
Yeah,
And that's not a problem.
yeah, that's really good.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's why, again, I
Yeah.
jumped onto this, and my friend Richardson jumped
I
on.
hope that it helps a lot of people. It's freedom for some people. It's really freedom.
Taking them out of house arrest.
Taking them out of house arrest, yeah. So,
I hope they realize it. I really do.
I hope
I
so.
hope they come to the seminar
Yeah.
where we can really, really, really explain to them, and they can hold, feel, use, touch, love, hug it, and say, I want it. I have to say,
Yeah.
you can't have it.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Oh.
And they'll bring a prescription, but we're not going to do anything. We're going to,
Yeah.
January, February, sometime in March, we'll release it. Until
Okay.
then, all we're going
All
to do is talk about it.
Okay, so thank you all for being with us today. We'll see you this Saturday, the 13th, at Wellness in the Woods from 10 to 2. Elliot will be there. There's a lot of fun things going on. There's going to be a full dinner, so Leslie's making a turkey. So we're going to have a lot of food, a lot of fun, a lot of people talking about healthy, getting healthy, staying healthy, and being healthy. And I wish you a wonderful, wonderful, peaceful, and blessed holiday season. Thank you again for all that you do during the year. Thank you for being with us. And I saw this, Elliot sent me this thing that said, it's not the number of breaths you take, but the number of moments that take your breath away. So I wish you moments of healthy breathlessness. Thank you for being with us again, and have a wonderful holiday. Bye-bye.